Following the success of the first two Starrcade events, and the first WrestleMania, promotion of further mega events became a vital part of national, and even global expansion. Nikita Koloff was brought in by the legend, Ivan Koloff from the Soviet Union to establish dominance and superiority over American athletes, and since his arrival, has run roughshod over his competition. The World Heavyweight Champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair took exception to the Russian nightmare when he attacked announcer and personal friend, David Crockett, delivering his vaunted sickle to him. Flair lobbied to defend his title in the honor of David Crockett, who would serve as special referee, against the Soviet monster, while his uncle Ivan along with Crusher Khrushchev defend the World Tag Team Championship against the AWA Tag Team Champions, the Road Warriors. A steel cage has been designated the appropriate destination, with matters beginning to boil over between Dusty Rhodes and television champion Tully Blanchard. Not only has Blanchard been a thorn in the side of the American dream, his valet Baby Doll has really gotten so far underneath his skin, that this television title match carries with it the added stipulation, should Tully Blanchard lose, Baby Doll must serve as Rhodes' valet for 30 days. 1985 has also witnessed the renewal of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, as Ole along with the newest Anderson Arn, defend the National Tag Team Championships, while perhaps the brightest rising superstar, Magnum TA defends the United States title against Kamala. Jimmy Valiant and Paul Jones meet once again in a dog collar match, plus 2 additional matches are featured at the inaugural Great American Bash from American Legion Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. The first ever Great American Bash opened with a match between Nature Boy Buddy Landel, with J.J. Dillon, and Dillon's former associate, Cowboy Ron Bass. Landel starts strong by knocking Bass out of the ring, where Dillon joins the attack. Landel chokes Bass and distracts the referee while Dillon strikes him, most of which takes place outside the ring. Bass eventually takes control, landing big punches and an elbow for a 2 count. He attempts a claw hold until the ring bell interrupts, ending the match in a draw. The fight continues as it is unclear what the final decision is. However, Bass applies the claw hold on J.J. Dillon until Buddy intervenes. The latest version of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson, defend the national tag team titles against Buzz Tyler and Dick Slater next. Buzz Sawyer and Dick Slater enter the ring and start fighting before the match officially begins. They clear the ring, and the match starts with Arn facing Buzz Sawyer. The Andersons gain the upper hand against Slater. All 4 wrestlers become involved, and Ole delivers a spinebuster to Sawyer. The Andersons then double-team Sawyer, leading to their win by pinning him while the referee is distracted. A 6-man tag team confrontation follows, as the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez teams with Sam Houston and Buzz Tyler to take on the Barbarian, Abdullah the Butcher, and superstar Billy Graham. Buzz Tyler and the Barbarian start the match. The Bull joins in, but is soon caught in trouble. Abdullah the Butcher knocks Sam Houston down with strong shoulder charges, as the fight moves outside, with his team remaining in control. Suddenly, chaos erupts, and Sam Houston surprisingly pins the superstar to win the match. Jimmy Valiant and Paul Jones meet in a dog collar match next. Paul Jones was in command, with Jimmy Valiant bleeding from his head, but Valiant gains the upper hand by crotching Jones. He then drags him into the ring post and hammers him with right-hand blows. Abdullah the Butcher enters after Valiant applies a sleeper which distracts him, but Paul Jones runs directly into his own man, allowing him to drop an elbow for the win. Abdullah attacked Valiant after the bell, but Buzz Sawyer, wielding a chair, forced his retreat. The Russians' combination of Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev defend the NWA World Tag Team Championships against the world champions from the American Wrestling Association, the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors are in control for most of the match. Hawk lifts Ivan Koloff and performs a military press. Chaos ensues with all 4 wrestlers getting involved, enabling the Russians to gain the upper hand. Animal and Khrushchev both go down from a clothesline, and Animal tags in Hawk. Crusher uses a chair on Animal when the referee is not looking. Hawk then retaliates with the chair against both Russians, leading the referee to call for the bell, resulting in a double disqualification. In the next contest, United States champion, Magnum TA defends his title against the Ugandan Nightmare, Kamala. Kamala attacks Magnum before the match starts, but Magnum soon takes control. Kamala resumes command using chokeholds and nerve holds before performing a big splash, getting a near fall, and then a second one. Magnum starts bleeding from the forehead, but he avoids a splash in the corner and responds with 3 dropkicks. Kamala's manager, Skander Akbar, interferes, leading to a disqualification. Afterward, Magnum fights off both Kamala and Akbar. Ric Flair defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Nikita Koloff in the next match, with David Crockett serving as guest referee. Nikita starts strong before Flair delivers some chops, but Nikita counters with a clothesline. He applies a bear hug, but Flair counters with an atomic drop. Flair gets a side suplex and tries a figure 4 but is met with a rake to the eyes. After a brief back and forth, Flair is bloodied. Ivan Koloff interferes and knocks out the referee. A fan attempts to confront Nikita but is stopped by security. Flair hits a crossbody for a 1 count, but after a failed slam by Koloff, Flair pins him to retain his title. Post-match, the Russians attack Crockett and Flair until Sam Houston and others attempt to help but cannot. The final match of the event is the Lights Out Steel Cage match for the World Television Championship between champion Tully Blanchard and the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes starts strong but Blanchard strikes back, while Baby Doll approves from ringside. Rhodes bleeds from his eye, but counters with powerful elbows, and throws Blanchard into the cage. The Dream scores a near fall with a clothesline and applies a figure 4 leg lock, but Blanchard distracts the referee and reverses the hold. However, Dusty escapes and Blanchard attempts to climb out of the cage, but Dusty follows him up, and brings him back down to the ring. Blanchard dodges a flying elbow drop, but cannot avoid the pile driver, which Rhodes executes to win the title and Baby Doll for 30 days. Part of the year-long celebration of the golden anniversary of Jim Crockett Promotions, the event was deemed largely successful. Following the inaugural Great American Bash, the conflict between Jimmy Valiant and Paul Jones remained unresolved, as Valiant would have to endure the growing membership of Jones's stable, as well as cope with the betrayal of his closest allies. The Road Warriors would make sporadic appearances before joining Crockett Promotions full-time in 1986, while the Russians traded the World Tag Team Championships with newcomers, and vastly popular Rock and Roll Express, though Nikita Koloff remained a top singles contender. Following his loss to Dusty Rhodes, Tully Blanchard turned his focus to Magnum TA and the US title, culminating in a classic I Quit match at Starrcade 85. Ole and Arn Anderson joined Ric Flair to brutally attack Dusty Rhodes and was later aligned with Blanchard, with J.J. Dillon, to form perhaps the standard of all wrestling stables, the Four Horsemen. The Horsemen would dominate professional wrestling in various incarnations throughout the remainder of the 80s and into the next decade. Rhodes' conflict with Flair and the Horsemen would lead to an epic rematch at a groundbreaking Starrcade 85, which would for the first time be broadcast live, from 2 separate locations, and setting the tone for the next chapter in the continued war of expansion in professional wrestling.